So what?
Was that a dare or was that really fun?
No, it was fun.
So how busy were you this summer?
I was pretty busy. I was busy. It was a fun summer, but it was good.
Tell us a little bit about the World Cup and all that.
I mean, obviously, you know, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted as a team. You know, we went in there with the, you know, idea and the preparation as far as we're going for a gold medal. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we weren't able to do that. But the way we looked at it, you know, is, you know, it's a stepping stool for the Olympics. You know, we got the Olympics next year. You ready to go? Hard way to go out, you know, losing a Luka, but you know, it is what it is. It's 1-1 now, so hopefully there's a game 3 coming up next year.
Hey Josh, Noah Weber from the Smoking Cuban. How are the extension talks going so far with your contract extension?
I'm kind of like, you know, just letting my agents deal with that. I got training camp. You know, we got a lot of stuff we need to do as a team this year. So, you know, I just leave that to my agents.
What are a couple of things that you worked on in the off season?
You know, I think it was a bunch of stuff. You know, I think a big focus of mine was, you know, making sure that I was in the weight room a lot, continuing to, you know, just try to build a bigger, you know, upper body. And then just staying consistent throughout my whole game, you know, playing more one-on-one in tight situations, you know, 3 seconds to get a shot off, you know, being consistent with my 3, you know, making, you know, multiple in a row before I can move on to the next spot instead of just making the reps. So I think the main thing was just making sure that I was deliberate with everything I did. I knew that I had the World Cup this offseason, so as soon as we didn't make, you know, the playoffs, I kind of went straight to work there for 2.5 months before being able to head to Australia for camp and whatnot. So it was a fun summer, and I felt like I got a lot out of it.
Your thoughts on the team's improvement athletically and defensively, new guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we've done a great job. You know, the front office done an amazing job coaching staff of, you know, making structuring this team. You know, I think we have a great team. You know, the first 2 days of training camp has been a lot of fun. It's always good to just go up and down against competitive guys. You know, I think everyone has the same goal here. You know, even the guys that weren't here, you know, they feel, you know, what, you know, we went through last year. So I think we're all going to be ready to go and win.
Josh, in Japan, you mentioned that you like to take a bigger defensive presence with the Mavs this season. What are some of the main ways you feel you can do that?
Yeah, I think you know, we have, you know, we're gonna have a great, you know, defensive scheme with, you know, Coach Jensen and Duds. You know, we had Sweeney last year, so I think, you know, for us, just making sure that, you know, I'm paying attention to every little detail, and also being, you know, trying to be a vocal leader. You know, I'm kind of being the quieter guy on the team, but I have to get that to go away to be able to, you know, take that next step, not only for me, but also as a team.
How cool is it to be able to play with Dante, and how do you feel like he can impact the team this season?
It's really cool. You know, it's cool because, you know, there's 10 NBA guys who are Australian, and, you know, usually when you know, part ways with your Australian team or whatever national team, you know, you usually go all different ways, but it's cool to be able to, you know, be able to maintain that with Dante. You know, he's a great guy. He's a great basketball player. He did an amazing job last year. He had an amazing World Cup, and I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Josh, do you think you were consistent last season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, great question, man. I think it's one of those things, you know, there's different roles change throughout every single game. You know, it's not, your role is not going to be the same thing every game, you know, especially with the way our team is. But, you know, at the end of the day, I go into the game and I give 110% every single game, and I'll never count myself out for that. So whether you think it's consistent or not, that's up to you to judge.
Coach Kidd was saying he kind of envisions you being the defensive stopper, kind of taking the challenge on of the opposite team's best weapon. How do you feel about that, and knowing his confidence in that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know that, you know, the coaches have confidence in me as a player. I have confidence in myself as a, you know, defensive player, and, you know, I'm ready to take on whatever role it is for the team, and I'm excited.
The word on the street is you are the most athletic player on this team. Who, anybody that's close to you that can challenge you for that title?
I mean, we have a lot of athletic guys on the team. You know, whoever said that, thank you. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, like, it's a little different. You know, we got younger guys on the team now. I've been the youngest guy for like 3 years in a row now, so it's refreshing to see a couple of younger guys. But, you know, everybody's athletic, you know. D Jones came in the other day and basically grabbed a rebound over the backboard, and I was like, all right, so maybe he might be the most athletic actually, but I think there's our whole team's athletic. It would be ready to go for sure.
D. Jones did win the slam dunk contest.
He did, yeah, he did, and I can see why.
Josh, as an outsider, Australian, what is an outsider foreigner's perspective on that idea of load management? Is that like an American only thing?
On load management.
Yeah, does that happen in other countries with other basketball? I don't know, is that just like an American, US thing?
Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've only really played here, so I couldn't tell you that.
This summer, you've indicated a desire to stay here long-term, and I think the Mavs have mutual interest in that. Do you have to compartmentalize your emotions on that as negotiations go on with that deadline coming up?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I know I want to be here. I'm gonna work as if I'm gonna be here for a long time. I want to be able to win in Dallas. I want to be in Dallas. So, whatever their decision, is their decision. But at the end of the day, I got the same goal every single day, and that's just to be the best teammate and the best player I can be for the team.
And are you optimistic that that can happen?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, it's always good to stay positive with everything. So, yeah.
Josh, a new NBA season's kind of like a new school year. If this team had a yearbook, what would Luka Doncic be? Would he be best dressed, class clown?
No, he would not be best dressed. What would Luka be? Probably class clown. I'll give him class clown.
What about you?
What about me? Just a smart guy in the class. Smartest guy in the class. 4.0 GPA. You can tell that's Dwight.
I might.
Hey Josh, what would you feel like was your biggest improvement this summer?
I think, a big focus, like my guy was saying over there, is just making sure I'm consistent with everything, with 3-point shooting and just making sure that I'm able to get a lot of reps up. But I would say my biggest thing that I tried to improve was just like, one-on-one game and making sure that I'm comfortable with the ball, especially, at the end of shot clocks and everything like that. If I get put into the situation I need to score, I worked on that.
What have you seen Josh out of Grant Williams, and what do you like about that acquisition?
Grant's he's been amazing. It's always good to be around somebody who's a great guy. So away from the court, he's been amazing, but also on the court too. He's a leader. He's vocal. He talks a lot, maybe too much. He's funny. It's good. It's always good to have those guys around, and he's gonna be big for our team.
What does a successful season look like for you individually, personally?
I mean, winning. I think, like, what I realized is, like, I didn't get to, be able to experience going, deep in the playoff run. I got, I did. I got pulled from the rotation, but at the end of the day, I think, as well as our team does, like, everybody can eat off that. Everybody wins in some type of way. So I feel like for me to have a successful season would be for our team to have a successful season. Make a deep run in the playoffs. Win a championship. To me, that's winning for me.
All right, guys, we're gonna make a switch and get Dwight out here.
The second smartest.